move forward suddenly. I just want to speak to you about move springing forth, and it says suddenly. Suddenly. So, in this moment of springing forth, it's simply reminding me and you that we don't have time for delay. We do not have time for unnecessary distractions. We do not have time to keep turning around. When I think springing forth, as the time went forward, it means to launch. Because Sister Valerie, you hit it. It means to launch. It means to jump. It means to focus. And it simply means to take a leap. If I were to put it in some theology, it just simply means to go forth. That's what springing forth means. And in order for us to spring forth, we have to stay out of the rearview mirror. We have to find it necessary to move from where we are to where we need to go. Yes, Sis Kathy, it says to go, to go, to go. That's what it means, to go. It means to stop resting. It simply means to come out of pause. It simply means to come out of delay. It simply means to come out of stagnancy. It simply means to go, to go. It means to press. If we're going to spring forth, we have to press. Now, one thing about the time changing, it was changing whether we were ready, whether we were not ready, whether we were tired, whether we expected it, whether we remembered it or not. We were moving. We were moving. And if time is moving, the question I want to pose is why? Why are so many people still standing still? Why are so many people waiting on time to stop? Because we refuse to move. Why is it happening? And so when it comes to springing forth, it means go forth with the business. Move forth in the whatever turn up it is, whatever that is that has speaking. Come on, prophetess. I'm telling you, spring forth. I heard the Lord just say for you to go ahead and do it. I heard the Lord just say, tell you to go ahead and do it. And so when we begin to spring forth, guess what happens? Sometimes we have to jump. Sometimes we may have to dodge to get into it, but we must move. Yeah, coming out of pause. Some people didn't stop, but some people just paused. Why did we pause? We paused. Look at y'all helping me to preach and teach on here today. We said it's interesting, coming out of pause and no more delay. Because guess what? Many people have been in delay because they thought it was denial. But can I tell you, delay was only waiting on who we thought needed to be present. But the only ones that needed to show up was us. We the only ones that show up. This man of God asked me, why are you stopping you from doing what is moving forward in what you've already been told to do? Why are we delayed? Who are we waiting on? The money is waiting on us. Listen, my husband's, this is his words and he says it best. You can't make demands until you're in demand. And if you're not in demand, you're not in a position to make any demands. But I'm telling you prophetically on this phone, on this live tonight, there's so many people that's in demand and you are able to make demands. But if you're not in demand, you can't make demands. I'm telling you, I'm hearing it strongly. Y'all still trying to match up with the world, but you better match up with who's You better match up with the right one. When now it's like, I'm just trying to get loose. You better be loose. You better launch. You better move. You better go forth. You better stop waiting. You better stop playing. You better stop procrastinating. You better stop pausing every time it's time to go forth. It's time to go forth. When I went to school for coaching, it was not on my agenda. I happen to be searching, prophetess, and I'm looking and I'm looking. This one person, lady, stood out to me. I didn't know her, never met her, never had a conversation with her, and it took me a minute to make that phone call. But I'm telling you, when I made that phone call, it was one of the greatest calls that I have ever made in my life. This was during the COVID time. This was during the time that people were shut down. Can I tell you, it's so many people around us that's shutting down, and we are the ones that's got to take time to wake up. People are shutting down. I'm telling you, I'm not here to scare you, but I'm telling you, people are going to be checking out of here because people are not going to be able to handle the pressure. But I'm telling you, if you walk upright according to the word that we are supposed to, if you launch it now, he's going to fund it. If we launch it and do it now, he's going to provide for it. If we launch it and do it now, he's going to take care of it. Because I'm telling you, it's time to wake up. It's somewhere listed, wake up. Why are we still sleeping and slumbering? Why are we still trying to convince ourselves we have the right people in position for the right time? And now I keep telling y'all, it's some shade tree mechanics. It's some shade tree prophets. It's some shade tree preachers. It's some shade trees. It's some shade. What does that mean? They have not been validated by God. They have not been validated by another leader. They have no mantle, and you're trying to run off into it. Listen, those of you still afraid, I'd rather be afraid and try it than to depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I'm just saying what I'm saying. The only reason people are fearful is because you're comparing yourself to somebody else. You're comparing yourself to somebody else. He didn't call you to be somebody else. I had a conversation with somebody today. Do you know why I pray the way I pray? It's what I've been through. You can't pray like me because you ain't been through what I've been through, but you can pray like you. And what you've been through, I haven't been through. But I'm telling you, you can't make excuses for where you are. You can't make excuses for what you've been through. He want to use where you've been to show up for where you are now, to take somebody else through it. Why not help somebody else? But when it's time to spring forth, that just simply means once you jump, you can't unjump. Anybody ever tried to unjump? Once you jump, you're already in a different place. I'm here to tell you, just jump. I'm here to tell you, take the leap. I'm here to tell you, give it a try. I'm here to tell you, jump. Because when we jump, you don't have an opportunity to think about it. You don't have an opportunity to wait and see what they're going to think. It doesn't matter what they think. Take the jump. Because guess what? They want to jump, but they waiting on somebody to jump first. I'm telling you. What does that mean? There's a leader on the inside of you that need to take the jump. They want to jump. There's people that's still afraid. I have people that get on here every Monday. I have people that go to my church. I have people that's stagnant. We have people that sit still. We have people that just sitting back. We have people that get upset. We have people that get angry. We have people that's really quit. I remember I mentioned it. You thinking about the people that's quit on you. You quit on yourself first. And so when you quit on you, guess what? People stop betting on you. When you quit on you, people stop believing in you. They notice you stood still. They notice that you're no longer moving. They know that you've given up hope. They already know that hope deferred has made your heart sick. They already know that you're not operating in the faith. They already know that you don't believe what you confess. They already know that you're not living what you say. They already know. Can I tell you people already know? Can I tell you people already know? Can I tell you they already know? Once you jump, you cannot unjump. That's the one thing about a jump. And then what am I? I'm a coach. I'm pushing you. I'm going to push you. Once I push you, you are in another position. You are in another place. When I push you forward, guess what happens? You are in a step closer to what you've been dreaming about, what you've been believing, what you've been wanting. Great day, son. You are in a step ahead. You are closer to the dream. You're closer to the destiny. You're closer to the business. You're closer to the signing of the papers. You're closer to the contract. You are closer to whatever it is on the inside of you that has not been launched, that has not come forward. Let me tell you, the people, days are gone that you work in somebody else's dream. Can I tell you to start dreaming? Can I tell you? No, you sure can't unjump. I am. Yes, yes, yes. I'm everything Natalia. I'm everything Natalia P. And there's a many of you, you want part of everything Natalia P, but you need everything of Natalia P, because guess what? You still won't jump when we hang up this phone call. You'll talk about it. But can I tell you, excuses again are dressed up lies. They just have a different outfit. They come on a different day. You wearing a different color. You'll put on a different hat. You even change the jewelry, but it's still the same dressed up lie. It's just dressed up in a different outfit. They won't help me. You don't need help. All you need to do is jump. Because when you jump, you're going to learn that all you needed to do was make up in your mind that you could. Can I speak to the people who could? I spoke last week about I almost had it. I almost got it. They almost called my name. Thank you, Sissy. I almost won. I almost got it. I almost. Do you know what almost does? It takes the same amount of energy to say what you almost coulda, shoulda, woulda than what you almost didn't and couldn't and have not. Do we know it takes the same amount of energy to smile as it takes to frown? See, what I'm saying to us, we're using the same amount of energy to speak negatively or to speak positively. We're taking the same amount of energy to believe in ourselves or not to believe in ourselves. It's the same amount of energy to say I could or the same amount of energy to say I can't. It's the same amount of energy to speak optimistic as it is to be pessimistic about your life. It's the same amount of energy as it is to live in a marriage and live through a divorce. You still have to work either way you go. All my single people in the house, I want you to know you still have to work. When you're married, you work. When you're single, you work. Hello, Miss Sister Tate. It's good to see you. Thank you. You have to work. And what has happened, nobody wants to work for it. Nobody wants to grab a hold of it. Everybody want it for free. Everybody want it for nothing. Can I tell you, you better put a down payment on destiny and stop wasting your money into the things that are temporary. Put a down payment on you. Put a down payment on what you believe. Put a down payment on you're more than able. Put a down payment on it's your launch, your leap. Come on and put a down payment on you today. The payment needs to be you today. Now, when we start to spring forward, guess what happens? When you start to spring forward, that just simply means you start to see it from a different perspective. When you spring forward, there's a different view. Remember I talked about the valley view people and the mountaintop view people? We see it from a different perspective. Can I tell you, you jumping, just taking one jump is going to let you see it differently than you've been seeing down payment on destiny. I'm telling you, you're going to see it differently. Because it's too many valley people. I know you go to church every Sunday. I know you go to church every Saturday. I know you go to Bible study every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I know you still showing up at Friday night services. I know you getting on with somebody who's praying. But I'm saying, what are you activating? What has been activated besides your show up? Because see, not only will you show up, when you start to activate it, you start to glow up and you start to grow up. And in our growing, there's a maturity that comes along with it that says, you know what? It does not matter. It does not matter. Everybody's not against me. And everybody may not be for me. But I'm going to focus on everybody who is for me more so than I am who's against me. When we began to leap and spring forth, guess what? Even the flowers and the seed in the ground know to come forth. Why in the world are you still standing still? Help me to understand. Help me to understand why you have not moved. Well, it's always been this way. Well, since you know what this way feels like, won't you spring forth and learn what that way feels like? You feel me? It's a this and it's a that. You've been in this, but you've not experienced that. Y'all hear me? You've been in this, But how about trying that out? Try that. Since this looks the same, since this is yielding the same thing, since this is not making any changes, why don't you try that? That is something new. That is something different. That is the unknown. That is something else. It hasn't gotten bad enough, but when it get bad enough, so it's going to be too late for a lot of people. Because guess what? What you're not doing in private, you won't be able to produce in public. That's the deal right there. So you don't just shift in hard times to start believing. If you're not believing now, or you're not believing in greater times, you're not just going to shift in difficult times to start believing. Guess what? Why? You haven't practiced what can become permanent yet in your life. It's some words. But guess what? It hasn't happened. Don't wait for the worst, and don't wait until it's too late that you no longer going to fit in the door. Don't wait till you almost got the last check. Don't wait till you almost got the promotion. Don't wait till you almost got the job. I want to talk about what if. What if you jumped, and what if you got it? What if you moved, and what if you won? What if you got up and got in line, and what if they called your name? What about the what ifs in our lives? What about that? Not the almost was last week, but what about the what ifs? We're going from an almost to a what if. How about moving into the what if? What if I do it? What if they say yes? What if I get it? What if they choose me? What if I am the one? We had a message. I think my husband preached it. I am the one. I am the one. Can I tell you? Almost is not good enough, sissy. You right. Almost not good enough. But what if? What if? What's on the inside of me is what if? What if? What if? And so what if? What if? Let me tell you, you fearful people, you're going to always be fearful because you're standing in fear. You'll always be right where you are, fearful. And guess what? You will be paralyzed. Fear is a paralyzing word. And fear brings destruction to other folks, between people and their destiny. That's what fear does. Fear causes you not to move. Fear causes you not to launch. Fear causes you not to leap. Fear causes you to stand still. And most of you home trying to encourage yourself, you probably speaking in tongues, doing all of that, and will show up in 5 days. What's the day? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to give y'all 6 because you go to church. And most of y'all will still stand. I'm going to tell you what it looks like. You sit in the same seat. You look the same way. You do the same thing. You eat the same thing. You look the same. You listen to the same. Nothing about you has leaped into something different. And that's what happens. You become a repetition to yourself. You become a repeated cycle, which is only going to repeat the same cycle. Why? Because there's no jump. Just jump. You've been in this for a long time. You seen this. You seen this, and I'm not going to call out all your thises, but you seen that. You seen the promise from a dude. You seen all of that. You seen what you could have had. You seen what could have been done. Now try that. Won't you try that? Why don't we try that instead of staying in this? Why don't we do it? Look at my shirt. It said don't be, and it's a pretzel, and it said don't be salty, baby. Don't be salty because I moved and you didn't. Don't be salty. Don't be salty because frustration caused me to jump. Don't be salty. You will never be, as long as you're comfortable, you're never going to jump. As long as you're comfortable, you won't leap. That's why coaches are necessary. So most folks, I don't want that. That's hard. I don't want to deal with me. I don't want to know the truth. I don't want to be pushed. I had to discuss, if you've been in church, this is for the church people. You've been in there 50 years and anything longer than that, and you still in the same spot. That's a shame on you. Shame on you. You're not waiting on God. You decided not to move. You decided to stand still. You decided to listen to yourself. You decide to let fear control you. You decided to stand still. You decided to sleep. You decided to stop believing. You decided 50 years? Y'all say, where you come? I didn't grow up in the church, that's for sure. Sure enough didn't. It wasn't the church. How are you still standing in the same place, still having the same conversation with yourself? How are we still doing that? Music not going to get it for you. I'm just going to tell you, it's just going to be music. Luther, I love him and still listen to him. Luther just going to do what he needs to do. And he's always been my favorite. Luther Vandross has always been my favorite artist. The first CD I ever purchased in my life. Say, don't get it twisted. It's the first. That's the first CD I ever purchased, was Luther Vandross. Luther. That works for the moment. But that's not working when I'm feeling all lonely or alone and by myself. It doesn't work for me. So I'm leaving this line telling you to come forth. I'm telling you to rise higher. When we make homemade rolls, I mean, yeast is even required for a rise. What is it that you are requiring to be better? Besides a Monday night, one day a week, what is it that you're requiring? Who are you listening to for the rest of the week? Motivating yourself 50 years later and you still haven't moved? I'm going to tell you, you are not the right one. Not for you. It takes somebody that's not going to hear that. It takes somebody that's not going to constantly listen to that. That when you spring forth, guess what? You leave room for somebody else. But as long as you standing still, what we going to do? What's going to happen to us if we stay in that same place? What's going to happen to us if we never move? What's going to happen? When you spring forth, guess what? It has to be movement in our lives. It's a lot of people that have no movement. You know that if we don't exercise, we lose muscle. So guess what? You lose the belief that you can do it. Why? Because everybody is springing forth in front of us. And when they're going forward in front of us, guess what we believe? We believe, oh, there went somebody else in front of me. Then we'll start to really believe that we can't do it. But I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. You can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, you should do it. I'm telling you to spring forth. As the seeds are planted, I have in my yard, there is a flower. It blooms for a few months of the year. A few months of the year. The greenery is there. But the blooming or the springing forth of the flower only comes for a short time. But one thing about it, I know, it's coming forth every single time. It's coming forth at its appointed time every single year. It's coming forth at its appointed time every single year. So one thing about it, I can depend on it to come forth. Who's depending on you to come forth and you won't move? Who can depend on you to come forth and you're still standing still? Who is it that's waiting on you so that they can move? Who is it that's behind you, needs you to take the leap and spring forth so that they can take the leap? Who is it that you have still standing in their same spot because you won't move and they next in line? Who is it? Spring forth. Who is it? That's coming forth every year. And guess what? I don't have to keep replanting the seed because it understands that it is supposed to come forth in its due season. Who is in here in their due season? We have annuals and we have perennials. Those are the type of plants that we have. And a lot of people go after the annuals. A lot of people go after the annuals, and the annuals are going to die out and have to be repotted. Those are the people who think they have a patent on it. Those are the people who still live in repetitions. Those are the people who don't plant the right seeds that can keep coming forth. But guess what? I don't have to go out and water it, but the rain is going to produce and give it what it needs. Who's raining on what's lying dormant on the inside of you? What words is causing a springing forth? What words is it? Who is it? Where is it? The nurseries are full of so many beautiful flowers, so many beautiful flowers, so many beautiful plants. They're full of them. They're full of them. And what do? We go and we try to produce the same thing that they produce. And then we bring them home. And then we try to plant them because we have a visual of how beautiful they look in somebody else's house. We have the visual of how lovely it looks under their care. But one thing I know about it, they had to water them. They had to care for them. They had to nurture them. They have to feed them. They're not just there unattended to. Somebody had to take the time to give them the attention that they needed in order for them to come forth. Somebody had to take the time. Somebody have to take the time. I'm taking the time. Every single Monday at 7:30, same place, same time. I am everything Natalia P. I am everything. I'm your certified master life coach, here to empower you. I'm here to empower you because once we get empowered, it shows up externally in all of our lives. I'm going over my hour. Over my hour. Yes, it's consistent. That's what happens. It's consistent. It doesn't matter what the weather brings. Did y'all know that? It doesn't matter about the cold. It doesn't care about the storm. It doesn't matter about how much rain it gets. It doesn't matter any of that. Let me tell you, in cold weather, it sleeps. But in due season, it awakens and it comes forth. And the weather has nothing to do with it because it's rooted and it's grounded. It's rooted and it's grounded. And when it's rooted and it's grounded, guess what? It has already taken hold underneath and we can't see it. All we know is that we trust it to come forth. And that's what I'm saying. We're trusting you to come forth. It's time for you to come forth. It doesn't matter. Due season, Nikki, it's due season. And many of us are in our due season. We're in our DUE season. But many people don't understand. They still operating in their DO and it's your DUE. It's your due season. And guess what? On payday, most folks don't show up. That's it. It's the DUE season. If some folks in their DO season, and you're gonna keep doing and doing and doing, and you're gonna keep DOing and DOing and DOing, and you're gonna miss your DUE season. Most folks show up on payday. Payday is due season. Most folks, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to DO it. The more you keep doing, and missing payday every single time. You miss payday. Because we are DOers and we do not look for DUE seasons. But it's due season. And that flower, though that particular one, I don't plant anymore. Let's be real about it. That's the one, I didn't plant that one. Let's be real about that too. Let me help you. I didn't plant that. Somebody else planted. Somebody else watered. But I'm receiving the increase off of somebody else's stuff. You hear me? But, due season. I'm paying a mortgage. I'm not getting it for free. I'm paying for it in a sense, but I didn't plan it. It's due season, y'all. Apostle, it's due season. It's due season. You can plant, Apollo's water, but here's the increase for us. Can I tell you your due season to come? Because you just been faithful over it. You kept on. You stayed in it. You kept tilling it. You kept believing. You keep speaking to it. You keep prophesying to it. You keep nurturing it. And in them moments right there, that's why it shows up in the due season. It's due season. You're like, I mean, how do you get to where you are? It was my due season. I knew that. I know that. And you're like, okay, that's what started you. Yeah, but my due season is not over. Now, then some things I have to DO so that I can get my DUE. So I have to keep on. So guess what it go? It keeps on going and going and going and going and going and going. Why? Because I have an expectation every single day. I have an expectation. So when you wake up, and rather I speak to one of you, but I'm grateful. It's at least 1,000 of you to grab a hold of this every single week. Rather I speak to one of you, or I speak to 10 of you. I have to speak it. Because I know due season is on the way. Yes, sir. Due season is coming. So I have to speak to you like it's 1,000. Why? Because it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It has to do with what I believe. And I'm going to give the same energy to 5 of you as I'm going to give to 500. That simply means I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to pull everything out of you. I'm going to squeeze you until the best of you is released out of you. You like, who squares you? Who? Life, baby. Life. I told you how I ended up lying. We've been doing this over 10 years. I was frustrated trying to get 20 people to now do what over 1,000 do. Guess what? That's frustrated me out in the open. Frustration put me here. Most of y'all mad about frustration. Y'all messed up. Y'all got me. I'm shifting. I'm feeling. I'm shifting. Y'all have messed up about frustration. You're frustrated that things are happening. You're frustrated that it's not the same. You're frustrated because you're being squeezed out. You've been pushed out and you've been moved out. Can I tell you, if I had never gotten frustrated, I would have remained right there. I would have remained. Why? I thought I was doing a good thing remaining, but I'm doing a better thing coming out. Can I tell you it gets better when you come out? It gets better. It gets better when you come out. Because you're suffocating in that frustrating place. Many people don't move because, I don't want to upset everybody else. Well, you're upsetting destiny on the inside of you. Somebody's going to be upset. Now, who is it? You can help them come forth. You can help them. But people are squeezing and sitting on it and laying on it and remaining and you want it, but you don't want to work for it. It's like not going to work, but you expect a paycheck, but you don't have vacation time. You don't have sick time. You have no time, but you're expecting to pay from it. You expecting some, you'll grab a hold of this oil. But I'm going to keep telling you the oil cost. It's a pressing, it's a squashing, it's a squeezing to get it out. To get it out. And that's what's happening. And you still crying, talking about help me. Can I tell you, just release? I'm telling you, just release. Just release. Just release. Why fight what's in there that can no longer stay? We already know that babies, they have a day and a time that they have to come forth, or they're stillborn. And many people, when you finally get there, it's stillborn because it's time of life is no longer there. Why? Because you won't release it. Most folks say, what are they going to think? What are they thinking anyway? What does that matter? I remind people, honey, what you think about me is none of my business. I know how to stay in my business. And this is my business. What they think or whoever think, that's not my business. My business is handling the business that's been placed in my hands. Release it. Y'all carrying around this unforgiveness. Y'all talking about stuff that's not going to change. You carrying around this anger. I know I'm talking to you, but I need y'all to do something about the ones I'm talking to. I'm talking to everybody on her. You carrying around jealousy. What? Don't be salty. If you didn't pay for my oil, don't be salty about what I'm carrying. That's what I'm saying. It's too many salty people out here. Salty for what? I want to be them. No, you don't. You don't know what it costs to be them. You don't know what it costs to have them. I always tell people now, my husband is fine. He's all that. And he's that bag of chips and some soda that I don't drink to go with it. But I will say this. And people look at him 2 hours on a Sunday. They look at him 2 hours on a Wednesday. And then next thing you know, they want to be married and they want that. Let me tell you, you looking through a window. You window shopping. But one thing about it, when you go on the inside, there's a price to pay, and it's expensive. You got to be willing to pay the price, and y'all not willing to pay the price. I'm hearing you. You're not willing to pay the price. You want to window shop. Window shopping. It costs to do this. It costs to be me. It costs to be you. It costs to be us. Why are you still dummying down? You still talking about you scared 50 years later? I hear you. And I just want to be married. He needs somebody that can minister to him in more than physically. She needs somebody who can minister to her in more than just a physical way. We talking about what we want, but we ain't willing to get what we need. We ain't willing to do nothing. Fix ourselves up. We walking around like what? If only I. When my husband in a low place, I got to be in a position to lift him. We can't go low together. When I'm in a low place, he in a position to lift me. That's how we work. We don't go low together. Hey, and listen, y'all linked up with the people who look like you, sound like you, complaining like you, same excuses like you. I know I'm talking to you right now. Come back and see it if you don't like it. And you ain't even got to shout back. That's what we need. That's what we need. See, we don't want to do it for better or for worse. We just want to be in it for better. And that's everything. We just want for better. And then if we don't get for better, we go for bitter. But can I tell you, stay for better. For better looks better on you. For better looks much better on you. So take the leap, take the launch, do it. And let me help you. Let me help you early. Who you think is going to support you is not. They're not. They're not going to support you. They're not going to come back and say anything to you. They're not going to let you know that they rolled by. They're not going to tell you they did a slick drive-by. They're not going to tell you. Y'all hanging around with the followers trying to make and thinking they leading you. You the leader. They attaching themselves to you because you're not confident. You're the leader, but you're just not confident. So they look like the leader to you because you lack the confidence. They know you do, but you don't realize you do. So release it. Let it go. You've experienced it in your hands. Now experience letting it go. And then see what it do for you. Yes, Nikki, you talking. I love it. You talking back. The rest of y'all keep on looking. But y'all, you talking. Release it. Release it. I'm telling you, I'm not here to advertise, but I am here to tell you. And I can advertise. I'm just that confident. Y'all need me as your life coach to empower you. You need it. You paying for a vacation, you coming back broke. You paying for the hair, it fades away. You paying for the bodies, you still got to do squats to keep it. I'm just helping y'all. I'm just helping you. I'm just helping you. You paying for the makeup as you wish some should. It's gone in 48 hours. We're buying the new clothes. But your confidence is not confident. Y'all hearing what I'm saying? So we're doing all that. It's temporary. But I want to move you to a place of permanency. And permanency, you may have it all together, so we think, on the outside. But the inside is not. If your story is still in you and you're scared to tell it, guess what? Your story is still controlling you. That means you're still bound by what you did. And you are not free in who you have become. See, I'm not bound by what I did. I'll tell that story. I don't need to tell them. I done told a lot. The Lord had me tell so much of my business. But I'll tell it. But for what? This is me. I've walked in boldness, you would think, all of my life, but there were some times and still some areas that, I'll be nervous, y'all. But I have to do it even if I'm afraid. I still have to do it. That's the part about it. Like, oh, you ever? Yes, but I still have to do it. And you do too. You can't keep saying I'm afraid. I do it afraid. I do it nervous. I still do it. You still have to get it done. We all have, exactly. We do it. And we all have messed up. Everybody standing on this earth have messed up. They old enough. What you holding on to that for? Or shall I say, why are you still letting that hold on to you? Some things I have not experienced. But there are some things that I have experienced. And I'm telling you, it's time for you to spring forward. It's time for you to jump out of that. It's time for you to jump out of living in that guilt. I hear it. It's time for you to jump out living in that regret. If you lived in it and you regret it, don't keep living life in a regretful situation that you wished you had. And then when we get to these places, we are so good with words. We're good with words. But our actions, most of the time, don't really line up with our words. We say it. But how many young people are bound because you won't tell what you really did? Yeah, I'm flipped off in the ministry. How many young boys out here? How many young girls out here? Because you won't tell it, because you want them to think it's been peaches and cream forever. I know we all have something to say, but we really all have something to do. So how many are still messed up because we won't help them come forth? Where y'all at? All 20 of y'all. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Talk back to me. Come on and talk to me. Y'all on here. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Am I hitting y'all where it hurt? I hope so. Because we have to let it go. Can I just tell you, let it go? Just type on here, let it go. You still holding them responsible. I don't want to go back here, but why are they still being responsible? Why are they still carrying? Why? Why are you still mad? Why are you mad that they have not been punished? Why are you mad because they look like they getting away or getting by? Why are you still mad? Because they look like they living their best life. You don't know their midnight seasons. You don't know their due season. But I'm telling you, one is coming. One is coming. We all have one. Be still and listen. Come on, cousin, sister. My friend, y'all be still. I got y'all. What? When y'all gonna let it go? Let it go. Why y'all carrying it? I'm always hitting you. Thank you. Yeah, we gotta do something about the hits though. Because guess what? If we gonna keep getting hit and we don't do anything about it, we walking around just still wounded all over the place. Make the decision. Make the decision. It has to be the decision to be made. The decision. You still mad at who? Because they didn't what? Yeah, you still mad at who? Because they didn't what? They didn't what? Mad at them for what? He moved on, she moved on. Let them move on then. What's up? They gone. So why we still stuck? They gone. Why we still right here talking about they gone? That math don't math. We're stuck. Y'all stuck. They gone. Help me. Why are we still right there? I was almost, but you wasn't. So now let's move. From the almost of yesterday to the I can of today. That's it. Open with them stories, sugarcoating that. I'm telling y'all. Listen, and folk don't want to be real. You fight, some folk on here, you fighting depression now. Tell the truth. And when my sister called to get on me, I said, man, I was in a something. Listen, I've been fighting all year long to get out of that place. But I kept moving. Guess what? I showed up for y'all every single Monday. Well, my husband came a couple of Mondays, but I'm still some Mondays. But it's not because of that. It's because in my physical body, I didn't feel well, but I kept showing up. Baby, let me tell you, I got to fight and still show up. People, folk on here fighting and to wake up every day, but they still wake up every single day. Go to work, live life, go home and cry, go do whatever. What is all of that? See, I'm real. I'm everything to Tanya P. See, I'm the real one. I'm going to tell y'all now, I'm the real one. I'm not going to talk a talk. I'm real. I'm truthful. Y'all hear me? I'm straight up like 6 o'clock. That's me. And most folk can't handle that, but I'm straight up. I'm going to be gentle with you. Man, yeah. Look, my nephew on here, man. I'm straight up like 6 o'clock. I'm not judging you. I'm pushing you. I'm going to take your mess ups and I'm going to show you how you can fess up. And then I'm going to show you how you can move up. That's who I am. See, I'm not going to paint that pretty story. I'm not going to tell you I've been with my husband for 38 years and we ain't never had no battles. They all lying. I'm telling you now, they lying. You can believe what you want to believe. I'm not telling you that. But one thing we decided, we're going to fight together, baby. We struggle together. We're going to fight together. See, that's where y'all messing up at. Because the people you picking to be on your team, guess what? They tapping out on you. They tapping out on you. They tapping out. Church sermon yesterday, keep it moving. Y'all standing still looking around trying to see what's going on. Come on, you gotta, come on. Come on, you can't help you. That stuff is only temporary, but let me tell you, I can feel it. And when you get in that house and you can't get out of that house and you in that house all by yourself, and then everything start coming up against here, then what you gonna do? Because you can't go out to entertainment. You can't do all that. Most folks now, they get upset with me. They be calling me. I can't answer. I'm like, I'm in a session. I'm in a session. They used to me just I'm a whole coach out here now. And I'm in a session. Can't hit you. Especially if they keep calling back in a session. I just hit that button, in a session. In a session. All the way tapped out. Y'all, they tapped out on y'all. Why? Because life is really lifing for everybody. And who you once was with it in life have tapped out on you. They just can't handle it anymore. They just cannot. So why you need to tap in. They tapped out, but that don't mean you have to tap out. That means you just go, you go get it. Let all that go. They did it. They caused it. It happened. And now what? Let me tell you. And in relationships, they let, honey, you made them a better them. They got the best of it. That's cool. That's cool. Now, what you invested in them, invest in you. Okay. Yep, I'm saying that. Yeah, you invested in them. Now, well, why not invest in you? They get the best, and you get the rest. Something wrong with that. You get the rest. It's not the way it's supposed to be. I'm leaving y'all though. I'm getting off of here. Y'all know I still have to work. Y'all be sure to share this. Share it with somebody else. Everybody need to hear it, not you. They'll become my client, and y'all will just come on here on Mondays. Y'all won't be my clients. They will. And then they'll pass you up. Because what you take for granted won't always be in your reach. I'm just saying. And not only them left you, guess what? Y'all left some of them because they took you for granted. They took you for granted. And they too prideful to say I messed up. They too prideful to say I messed up the best thing in my life. They're too prideful to say that. If you're going to move, at least size up. That's all I'm saying. Get something better. Get something better. So let that go. To be, it's clouding all of your judgment. And as long as we're cloudy in our judgment, we're poor in our decisions. Did y'all know that? We'll make very poor decisions when we're cloudy in our judgment. We need to be able to hear and see clearly. We make decisions. You ever made a decision? Y'all have. Y'all don't have to answer, but you can answer if you're real with yourself. You made a decision, and you look back years like, you like, what was I thinking? You just, listen, you embarrassed to even look at it yourself, let alone to tell somebody. It gets real. You be like, what frame of mind was I in when I made that decision? Because in my right mind, in my right mind, I would have never chose you. I would have never done that. I would have never put that on. Let me give y'all this story. One time in a church, it's Bishop Jackson. Honey, I was going through. Y'all hear me? Going through. And in this time, I'm heavy in the church, y'all. I'm heavy in the church. See, I'm gonna tell my true stuff. I can tell, and let me tell you, you can tell. Okay, let me get that. So I'm heavy in the church. I'm going through. I'm like, ugh. I come in. It was bad though. The outfit was bad. Don't even get me twisted. It was bad. Y'all know. It was blue. I remember, nephew. I remember the colors. It was like this royal tinted midnight blue type, and it had some black like on the sides. Listen, I'm able to describe it. Cause y'all like to ignore that foolishness. I need to remember that foolishness so I don't be foolish again in the same way. And it was a skirt, short little skirt. It was cute, y'all. It was short. And when I sat down, it was real short. It was short. And so I'm wearing this. I take this off. I wear this outfit and I take it. And I sit on the back row at church. Y'all hear me? I'm going to go to the club straight out of church. Yeah, y'all. I was going to the club. I'm living a bad situation. I got something going on. I better leave that alone. I have something going on. So I'm going to the club. And in the midst, I'm sitting on the back row, and he sat there. He came up. He said, now this one of the elders, because y'all ain't saying nothing to folk in church no more. Y'all scared of the people. Y'all scared of the people everywhere. And he said, what are you doing? Y'all, I didn't act like I didn't know what he was talking about. I already knew I was out of pocket. I already knew that it wasn't me. I was clean, but my skirt was short. I could have put on a pair of black pants, black jeans, anything else, but my skirt was short. I be telling y'all my stuff. See, this how real. They ain't gonna tell you all their stuff. They ain't gonna tell you much of any of their stuff. They're gonna sugarcoat their stuff, and then they're gonna make up an excuse of why it happened. This. I'm just telling y'all what the folk gonna do. And I had a short skirt. And when I sat down, y'all know it was a high rise. He came back and he said, what are you doing? And I looked at him. Yeah, I looked at him like this. I'm dejected. I didn't say, what you mean? I already knew what he was talking about. And he didn't say, hey, how you doing? He said, what are you doing? I didn't have anything to say. And then he started to speak to me and minister to me. I don't remember what he said, though. All I remember is, what are you doing? I knew it wasn't me. I know it wasn't befitting. I'm just going to the club and I'm coming to the church before I go to the club. No, I just did. I don't know why I did what I did, but I remember what I did. No, didn't go to the club after, because sometimes you need somebody to shake you. You need somebody to call you back to yourself out of your craziness. And you know what's happening? It's a lot of people in the crazy because they don't have anybody to pull and to shake them. You don't have anybody that'll speak truth to you. You will have people that'll talk about you, but they won't speak truth to you because they're afraid you're going to get mad. Get mad. But my husband says it best. Everybody to get mad, you'll get over it. That's one thing I know about it. And if you don't, you're going to miss out on a good thing, not having me in your life. Everybody get mad. Have y'all all gotten mad before? Put up some hearts if you gotten mad before. Put up hearts if you gotten mad before. Some of y'all mad now. Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Some of y'all mad right now. Do y'all's heart button work, or it just don't show up on my phone? Might not show up on my phone. Nephew, is heart buttons working and it's just not showing up on my phone? Some of them emojis, is that right? Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't work. So he said, what are you doing? He called me back to myself. Because there for a moment, I stepped out of myself. And I stepped into my situation. I stepped into the problem. I stepped into where I was, what I was feeling, and what I was experiencing. But I stepped out of who I really was. I said 30 minutes, y'all. Folks on here stepping outside of who you are because you're just trying to do things to make it, you think it's going to change who you are. You still who you are when you get back. You still who you are. Like, I'm going to get active. Get better. Active is what? Get better. Get active in springing forth. Get active in that. Get active in that. So it's so many. It's so many. Operating in brokenness. And what happens is, until somebody call you to yourself, you already know it, but you'll still stretch out and step out like that. And then everybody around know that you're broken. Not everybody, but those of the everybody who knows. Y'all know who the everybody's are. And I tried to put a suit over it. But somebody called me out on it. I tried to dress it, and it was dressed improperly. I'm a whole everything I was then. I mean, who I am now, I was then. And then I'm going to step out like, I don't have any better sense. One spoke to me. Others saw me. But it took one. It was one who said, you better than this. It was one who said, I'm not going to let you go out like that. It was one who said, I love you enough. It was one who cared enough. It was one. It was one. It was one. Everybody need that one. And most people don't want to hear from the one who is the one that's going to do it and make a difference. Oh, you can try to work through it. But I'm telling you, next year you'll be the same, and the year after that, and the same, and the year after that. And it only gets worse if you don't handle it. Remember, cracks not unrepaired just become bigger cracks. Holes not filled or healed become bigger holes. And once you fall into that quicksand, nobody gets to pull you out. That's the thing. Nobody gets to pull you out. Because they'll give you what you need to walk away, but they won't be there to put you back together again. Y'all feel, because life, and for everybody. It's a career for some of us to do that. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Y'all give me the story. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? But I still hear. It's not too late. Today is not too late. Not tomorrow might be, but today is not too late. Today is not too late. Spring forth. Come on. Come out of that looking behind you. Come out of that rearview mirror. Come out of looking at yesterday. And you say, that's not that easy. No, you might have to crawl. You might have to fight. You won't have to struggle through. Somebody gonna have to come and untie that straitjacket. Somebody can. Why? Because you can't reach it. But you got to have the right people that's going to come and set you free. I say this every week in this life coaching, and those who sit under me, they keep moving because they mix what I do on Sundays and with the everything Natalia. It's not coming that way. You don't go to the hospital if you don't acknowledge that you need help. People acknowledge they need help and then will sit there and bleed to death. Lord have mercy. What is that? Y'all got me in this place. I knew it was coming. I thought it was at the beginning. Will bleed to death. And won't go get help. Won't get help. I'm too old to be embarrassed at this point. Once upon a time, I didn't ask for help. Because you know what? We felt ashamed or figured they can't help us. And many people didn't ask for help because they felt rejected. People wouldn't help them. So the rejection is what kept them from asking for help. I need some help. I'm asking for some help. You can tell me no, but I'm not messed up with the fact that you can't help me. I'm not messed up at the fact that you reject me. But I already know when you're going to reject me because I'm tapped in. I'm not coming to you anyway. But if I come to you, you can help me. You can. And some of you won't. You have people who can help you and won't help you. And you have people who want to help you and can't help you. And it's one more, but I can't think of what it is. That's just the way it is. It goes that way. That's what life looks like. It's 2025. It's a new day. It's a new year. It's a new day. It's a new year. And it's time to make a decision. Don't get caught up in everything happening around. Don't get caught up in distractions. But, it's a but. I can't see these, y'all's, I'm telling you, don't. They hitting it. Okay, the hearts wouldn't show up on me. Okay. But I'm telling you, I thought it'd be individual, but it's overall prophetic. Listen. If there is no validation, there is no credibility. Y'all better hear me. Stop running to people who going to tell you what you want to hear. And get with what you need to hear. Some people need to unlearn what they thought they knew. Just to learn what they need to know. You have to do it. I've been married 36 years. I've been with my husband 38 years. I'll take the counsel of me before I'll go take the counsel of somebody who's been in it for 1 year or somebody who hasn't been married at all. I'll tell you this one time I called around. I just called because of the price for marriage assistance. with this company, and they charged you individually. They didn't charge you as a whole. I was curious. I had no intentions on going. I just wanted to see. And then I began to ask them how old were the counselors and what have you. And they wasn't able to give me that information. I said, okay. I said, are they married? Well, some of them are, and some of them are not, but they're really great. They give you Bible. They give you Bible. They give you information. This is not my Bible. I'm like, I have a Bible. They didn't know. I mean, hey, my husband, the bishop. Now, I didn't tell them. Now, he can work with you with that word from Genesis to Revelations. I didn't mention that. And yet, but they give you Bible. Is that the most you can give me? I said, But they can't give me experience. I'm read. I can read. I can read. I didn't tell them what I did. I didn't tell them anything. Yeah, but she was just really convinced. I said, so you charge each person? Yeah, but they're really good. You didn't tell me their age. And then some of them are not married. I said, so how are your people going to tell me how to be married and they've never been married? And how are you going to tell me to weather a storm if you've never had one? Yeah, y'all feel me? So a lot of stuff we do, y'all, the math just don't math. We just have to tap into the sense to see that it doesn't make sense. Y'all hear me? And she was convinced, and she said, well, do I need to send you some information? I said, sure. And then, but I did tell her, honey, if you knew who my husband was, you wouldn't have this conversation with me. And then she said, well, I mean, will you talk to your husband about it? I said, my husband would never stand for it. And when we get up in that room, and then he gonna come talking about that, I know the Lord loves me and such and such, but can you give me some experience to go along with your knowledge to help me? And then I need some revelation to give me some help to, y'all understand what I'm saying? But they wasn't able. So I'm just sitting here, and that's what we do. We take our single folks to help us, to tell us not to be married or how to step out of the marriage, who have never been married, who want your marriage, but you listening to them tell you I wouldn't take that, but I'll take it. And let me get off. That's for married people only. But I'm just saying, spring forth. The time shifted means the time's shifting. That means we must shift, because everything is shifting except for people. Everything's shifting. Everything's increasing. Everything has been enlarged. Things are... Why are we still standing in the same spot doing the same thing, expecting something different? Why are we still standing in the same spot doing the same thing, expecting something different? I think that's it. I started me put my glasses back on to see what I need to see. Y'all hear me? That's what it looks like. Exactly. Hello to all of you guys who are watching. Come on in. I'm watching you as you watch me. Come on in and say hello. Come on in and say hello. The math ain't mathing. The math don't math. And how do we keep making the math math? How is the math not mathing? 1 + 1 is 2. 0 times any number is still 0. Why are we trying to get something out of nothing? Go to the bank. Put in your card. Try to withdraw what you've never put in. And then you're going to have insufficient. There's too many insufficientness here. Insufficient. We're insufficient. But he's all sufficient. Insufficient. And insufficient funds. It doesn't matter how many times you hit it. You're not getting anything out that you're not willing to put in. You can't withdraw where you want and refuse to make a deposit. Y'all hear me? No deposits. No withdrawals. Period. You can stand there all day. And then you'll watch everybody else come in, hit the button, and you'll see them withdraw. Why? Because they put something in. They put something in. I'm ending. If this has blessed you, sure, if you want to cash out me, you can. I'm godly, confident, positioned to win. That's GCPTW with the cash app sign. I do have Zelle. I don't know the number. I tell y'all this every now and then. I haven't said in a while. Yeah, I'm going to set up the rest of all that stuff. Y'all know I say I'm going to set this stuff up every week. It's somebody on here that can help me that don't, that won't, that will, and that is going to wish they did. Y'all know that? Even in the replay, if you can help me, help me. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to school for all this techie stuff, but yeah. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Bree. Lifers, post it on there for me. Post it all the way up and down. Y'all ran me away. Post it up and down. You do not have to continue living in the deficit and insufficiency. You do not. Hello, Tasha. Hello. You don't have to keep living in this deficit. Live in your abundance and your overflow. Live in it. And then I'm way over my 30 minutes that I said I was going to do, so I'm going to get off from here. He called me out. Listen, my cousin out here, he called me straight out. And I told him today I got hit every which way I could have got.